Shatter your dreams with this cream I make. Gotta be on the thinker. That's
the way I've been riding 85. I've been thinking way too much. You didn't fit the picture, so I guess.
Quarterbacks looking to make an impact. It's Keenum's Vikings going up against Ryan's Falcons.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. A moment ago, here was the scene, the Falcons. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard. Line. Now a play fake here on first down. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And a minimal.
Get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
On second down, Ryan. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now Ryan. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Vikings coming out here again to take over on offense. And this is a crew, obviously, that was so close, Charles, to becoming the first ever team to play a Super Bowl in their own stadium. So disappointment in that last game against Philly, but overall, I think they've got to be pretty pleased with the season.
They have to be, because they put it all together. Won the NFC North. How about that win over the Saints in the divisional round? I mean, I don't know that they'll ever top that in terms of getting something done late in the game, especially with what was on the line. They do get Dalvin Cook back at running back next year. I think they'd still like to have a little more speed at wide receiver. But all in all, this team comes back pretty well intact and will be a force for a while.
Yeah, that defense is pretty set.
Very much so. I mean, try and move the ball against their front and then try and throw it against Xavier Rhodes. Good luck to you.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. Second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
shift together here from the D-line. Off the play fake, Bridgewater. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Grady Jarrett breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. 3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Here's Bridgewater. Flush to his right. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I better raise my voice a little bit here, because one thing we can already tell, even in the first year in the league with this new stadium, it's going to get loud in this place.
Yeah, the old place was loud, but I think we're getting a sense that this place is going to be louder.
Yeah, they're riding that momentum of that 2016 team that finished their year in the Super Bowl.
Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Falcons taking over on offense in just a...
This team was supposed to be as good or better. Ultimately ended up 10-6, found their way in the playoffs, but didn't get the deep run as they had the year before. So you're exactly right. For Falcons fans, that's a tough one. But this is a team that's built to be good for a long time.
And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Freeman again, a 1st down carry. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Now they'll throw it with Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Over the middle, complete. That's Freeman. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
And, partner, when you run the ball on 3rd and 2, you're telling the whole world you've got nothing but confidence in your offensive line and your runner, and you expect to get it. But they were stuffed on that play, only got 1 yard. Great job by the defensive front, the linebackers, everyone got involved to force a fourth down.
And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
Before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. 4 minutes to play here in quarter number 2. Penalty, it's Murray. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
You and I both know that you don't really truly replace Adrian Peterson, but Latavius Murray's a really good back. Similar running styles, too. Won't wear the same number, we know that. But when you see him run, you might see a little bit of that in him. Upright with some power.
They go play action here on first down. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year, and they totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Andrew Sendejo. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents. Again, it's Murray. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. Third down, Bridgewater. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fielded at the 20. Nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP. 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game, not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Play action. It's Ryan. And it's caught right at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 32 yards. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl, but third MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
You go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999, where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
Well, last year, I'm not sure we saw very many of those runs, did we, from the Vikings? I mean, they had the poorest rushing attack in the league.
Just 75 yards per game, but carries like the one we just saw, that'll help bolster that average.
Yeah, certainly, and they tried to beef up the offensive line in the offseason, brought in Latavius Murray, and then drafted Dalvin Cook out of Florida State.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 12 more yards there and another first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Bridgewater on first down. Rolling to his right. The swing pass caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, 28 yards. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. Forbath out to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So out come the Falcons now. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Here's Ryan. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 30. 23 yards on the play. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. They go play action with Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Taylor Gabriel, as the first half is winding down, and the Falcons will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side. No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5, as he's taken down right at the 20. And now out comes Minnesota. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
It'll be a gain of 4 here, and it will take us to the end of the first half of play. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Fielded about a yard deep as we begin the third. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
This is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. That was second down run for Murray. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
Now Bridgewater. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now it's 2nd and 7. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Here's Sherrills. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. They'll try and get the running game going here with Murray. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. They go with Murray again. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
3rd and long for Bridgewater. He finds McKinnon complete. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. They're indeed going for it. Bridgewater. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Kamal Ishmael. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now it's Ryan. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because...
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And he's got it up and through. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be knocked down sideways, right at the 20. And out now come the Vikings. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D lineman, you play the run. Linebacker.
And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he is level. Knocked down hard. And now out comes Minnesota. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his.
And now here is another interception.